Hello guys, this is a review of the movie Mask, starring Cher, Sam Elliott, and Eric Stoltz. The movie follows the story of Rocky Dennis. He's a teenager with a deformity. He has a bone condition where the bones in his face keep growing and growing non-stop. And usually the life expectancy for people with his condition is not a very good one. His mother, played by Cher, her name is Rusty, and she's a motorcyclist who's in love with Gar. He's also a motorcyclist. Like, they live that lifestyle. She's a very forward woman. She loves her son, but she's very hard. Like, she doesn't take anything from anyone. She goes up to your face and tells you what she needs to tell you if she has to, or if she just wants to. Like, you know, she doesn't back down. She doesn't play the part of the middle-aged American housewife that, you know, none of that. Like, she's just a badass. In a nutshell, the movie is actually based on a real-life story, which I found surprising when I read on Wikipedia after watching the movie, because I didn't know that before watching it. And I would really say that the term inspired by would be more fitting, because the real-life story of Rocky, he did have the same condition, but he wasn't like almost a genius the way that he's in the movie. His mother ran out on him, and later his brother died of AIDS. That never happens here. He doesn't even have a brother. There are a lot of differences, honestly, but anyway, let's first talk about the movie. So, oddly enough, he doesn't have too much trouble socializing, but he does have trouble forming permanent bonds with people. At first glance, logically, people stare at him, but once they get to know him, then he's really social. He has a very good friend with whom he plans on riding a motorcycle across Europe with. And near the end of the film, he gets tired of his mother's irresponsibilities. Is that even a word? Okay. His mother loves him and cares for him the best she can, but she's an addict and quite irresponsible. She depends a lot on him, more so than him on her. So at one point, he just tells her, you know what, I'm gonna take this field trip that my school is offering me, where he's like an assistant or like a counselor. No, not a counselor. Yeah, he's like an assistant at a camp for the blind. And there he meets the love of his life, this young girl who's also blind. And you can imagine how lovely it all came to be, because usually he's very reserved in that way, because he feels if he goes up to a girl, then they're just gonna judge him based on what he looks like. But since she couldn't see, then she got the opportunity to know him and to see just the way that he treated her and fall in love with him that way. Obviously, and she falls in love, he falls in love, it's mutual and it's beautiful. But obviously, when her parents find out who Rocky is, they don't approve of it because of the way that he looks, and they don't like straight up tell her, you know what, this is not gonna happen because of blah 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 blah. They just don't forward his cause to her, and she kind of thinks that, well, maybe he forgot about me or whatnot, but he goes and looks for her in person and tells her about it, and she's like, it's probably my parents, you know, it's probably them, we should run away. He says, no, we shouldn't, that's not a good idea, but don't worry, you are the owner of my heart. I love you, and this is real. And it's super beautiful moment. Later though, soon after that, very soon, his mother finds out that he's dead. And the way that she finds out, and that's basically how the movie ends, the way that she finds out is so sad. I cannot stress it enough. It was sad. This movie was just one of the saddest movies I've ever seen in my life because of that moment. Well, not just the moment. The first time I watched it, like, I obviously knew the basic, like, the premise, but not in detail. I tried to go, like, into movies not knowing much about them, and I watched it with my mom for the first time, and I don't regret it because I had a good time, but I think it would have been maybe better if I watched it on my own because I wanted to, like, cry. I did tear up, obviously, but, like, I felt like I just wanted to rip my eyes out of my sockets. Like, it was sad, and I hated not being able to express the pain that I felt. Ironically, I don't identify with Rocky. I don't identify with his life, his family and friends. Like, my family and friends are just nothing like that, and there's nothing really to pick up on from that. But filmmaking back when this movie was released, it was just so much different. Like, this movie is 2 hours and 7 minutes, and the build up, it's slow. It's not boring, but it is slow. And I think they do a very good job just keeping you at this pace. And nothing really surprised me. They don't throw curves the way that other movies do, but it still grasps you. And then near the end, for you to get that fall, which I also expected, but the way that it happened, like, I don't remember exactly if, like, his mom got a phone call or a friend went to ask about him. I don't remember. The point is that she finds out that he's not in school, but he hasn't left his bed yet, so he goes to check up on him, and he's not breathing anymore. Obviously, I'm not feeling that now because I'm not watching it, but if you watch it, I guarantee, ooh, it was bad. It was so bad. And like I said, I can't even identify much with his life, but, or what he's going through, but it still got to me. It got to me very bad. This is not the type of movie that I would watch over and over on my own, but I would definitely watch it with another person. I'm gonna keep it because it's a very good movie. It's just that, you know, I like to rewatch movies where I could always grasp onto something personal with which I can identify with. Did I even say that right? The point is, it's a very sad movie. It ends on a very sad note. I mean, you could always take it in very different ways. His mother keeps moving forward. I think she even quits doing drugs and stuff like that. So it doesn't end up with, like, everybody suffering and crying, but and like I said, I saw it coming, but dude, Rocky was such a kind soul. He was nice, he was gentle, he was genuine, he was very intelligent, he had a lot of things going on for him. But that's what happens sometimes. I would give the movie a rating of 9.5 out of 10, strictly in its category. The acting was great, the directing was also great, everything. The movie was really good, but it does have that, like, that feel from movies of that era, and that's not a bad thing necessarily. But I think that's it for this one. I would recommend it. I say you check it out if you want something very sad, but you should watch it with another person, unless you really, really are in the mood of just crying by yourself. Then just watch it on your own. But that's it for this one. Thank you for watching.